All right, so our topic, when you dissolve something, is the process. How do you know whether a process is exo or endothermic, right? Some important things to help you if you'd like to use them. Here's our objective. You're going to use temperature change. All you got to do is look at what happens to the solution and what happens to its temperature. So Dr. Square dissolves some salt, and salt could be anything really, any solute in the scope of this video. And the goal is for you to say, hey, it's exo or endothermic. That's the goal. Sorry about that. Now, to review, the system in chemistry is what's undergoing the change, and the surroundings are what is around them, like what encompasses them, right? It could be substances or it could be one substance. In this case, our system and the substances are the water and the salt, all right? And once again, the surroundings is what's around it, and there should be an S in surrounding. Instead of surrounding, it's surroundings with an S. Just to review the types of changes and which is which, I think it's good to put things in a box to visualize it. If you're ever getting, you're stuck with it, it helps me think about things. So you got your system, it's surrounded by the surroundings. Which way is the energy flowing? Here it's flowing in. So energy is being absorbed by the system. Therefore, this is endo, and exo is the opposite, where energy is being released. And that'd be exothermic. All right. Now with dissolution, the system is going to be your salt. All right. The surroundings are typically water or the solvent. It's solute and solvent, but typically the solvent is water, and salt could be really any solute that we're going to put in and dissolve. For endothermic, the salt is absorbing water from itself. It's absorbing energy from itself and the water to dissolve. Whereas exothermic, by dissolving the salt into the water, energy gets released. The process in the net energy gain is the temperature goes up. And these arrows represent the energy flow in absorption or really release. All right, overall. Now with endothermic, you want to understand why it's going, what it means about the energy and the sign. In general, endothermic, the temperature will go down because energy is getting absorbed to make the change occur. It needs some energy like the thermal energy of the system, the salt, and the water to make it happen. Whereas in exo, the opposite's occurring. So the temperature of the water is going to go up, and the whole process releases energy into the salt and the surroundings, or the salt and the water. All right. Now let's look at some examples. Here we've got salt being put into water. Once again, salt could be any solvent. Salt could be any solute, and the temperature starts here and goes up. All right, so I'd calculate my delta T. All right, and I'm going to put it in. And I can't believe I didn't write the unit. Shame on me. It's a positive number, so that means this dissolution was exothermic because the temperature of the whole thing went up. All right. Now, another salt, I put it in water and it freezes. All right, so it went from warm to cold. So is it losing? Is dissolution causing the losing of energy, or is dissolution causing the release of energy? In this case, the dissolution is causing the absorption of energy. Therefore, this is going to be endothermic. The temperature went down. Now, here's another example. Now, this example is you're going to critique someone's claim, right? So this person says that it's dissolved is exothermic, and here's their reasoning or evidence. The temperature went from 20 to 18, so it's a negative delta T, so they're saying the water released energy. And they're saying exothermic processes release energy. All right, there you have it. Are they right or are they wrong? Well, first off, they're incorrect, but they are when they're looking at the scenario, they're making some things that are, they're making some statements that are correct. One being that's a negative delta T, all right? Temperature is definitely going down. Their reasoning is correct, meaning they're not wrong that exothermic processes release energy. And they're also not wrong that water in this scenario is releasing energy. But you need to look at it more in terms of the overall process. And since this water is the surroundings, it's the surroundings that are releasing this energy, and their dissolution process is absorbing it. Therefore, the change would be endothermic, because it's, in order to dissolve, you need to add energy, which comes from the surroundings and from the actual salt itself, because everything's temperature goes down. All right, here's one more. Okay, Crazy Larry, I forget what his name was. I have to ask one of my old students. Looks at this scenario and he says, hey, it's endothermic because the water absorbed energy. All right, its change went up. It's all right, and they're not wrong here. Here we have little Frito is going to say water is, but once again, the water is the surroundings. And if the surroundings with the dissolution are absorbing energy, then the process would be exothermic. All right, there you go, and thank you, and I hope that helps. All right, bye.